What is up, guys? It's Eddie here, bringing you guys a brand new video, and today I wanted to talk about G format in Zero and the possibility that Global may get it sooner than expected, like December soon, not January soon. Now, before you X out of the video and people leave, let me explain a couple of hints that Global has dropped recently, and possibly some other things that are leading me to believe that G format is coming to Zero in December. As always, these are just theories and should be taken with a grain of salt until we get the official confirmation from Game Studio. Let's talk about why this is important. In the Japanese version of the game, players expected the G format to come out the month after Set 21 Neon Messiah was released, but as we later found out through a series of not being able to read fine print, we debated ourselves and Zero got a break month in between the last set of Legion and G format. As we would later find out, this month was to prepare players for G format, as regular gacha tickets couldn't be used in the G Gacha, and gems have become the king currency of Zero. This month was also used to give us some last minute events such as Chrono's Birthday Festival, the Love Vanguard event, the Welcome to G events, most of which were login bonuses, as well as using the alt arts for Chaos Breaker Dragon and Blaster Joker in the game, giving us 2 whole rank seasons to farm up gems for the upcoming format. So before I explain my theory, I want to talk about the Bushiroad press conference where they announced the G format for Global. There seems to be a misconception where people assumed G was 2022 despite them never giving us an official date or them stating it was coming in 2022. So just bear in mind with that going forward that G format was never confirmed for 2022. Now, as for the theory of Global coming to G in December, I was originally of the opinion that Global would not skip the break month and we would get G in January until they released the Global calendar for November, that is. On the Global calendar, there was something very interesting happening, which was a week of Fighters tournaments and a week of Champions tournaments, but nothing too concrete since we know that they're stopping the tournament mode starting G. People just speculated, but on November 4th, they updated the info section to say final week to the Fighters and Champions tourney, further solidifying this theory of G in December, since again we're not getting any more tournament mode in favor of the casual queue that G is giving us. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking, but Eddie, you're stupid. They haven't added the Neon Messiah story arc to the story, nor have we gotten any of the buffs to older units like JP did during the break month, and we still have 2 rank seasons to go through. And to that I say, that was the only hole in the theory. That was until Global got maintenance on November 7th. While a lot of people just assumed that it was to fix daylight savings time, changing the clock from PDT to PST, they also added event and story data. We assumed the story data was going to be the Neon Messiah movie, but nothing was added. But that doesn't mean that they can't put it into the game to have the story updated itself on the 16th when the new rank season starts. We've seen them do this before, where sometimes they'll do a maintenance in advance and have no maintenance on the 15th of the month. A bigger moment when that happened was when we got set 11 and 0 on New Year's Day, but we got maintenance on December 22nd. I'll talk a bit more about that later because it's important to the whole G coming in December thing theory. As for the buffs, they could very well implement them on the 16th of this month as well, since buffs and nerfs aren't exactly restricted to only being released at the beginning of the month. As for the Chaos Breaker Dragon and Blaster Joker alt art rank rewards, I do believe that they will be added into the coupon shop just like Nightmare Doll Alice and Star Call Trumpeter were all the way back in set 3. And I do believe those alt arts are the reason why we're getting the Fighters and Champions Tourney week, to help people attain them faster if they so wish. For those who are worried that they may not get enough coupons, don't worry, JP's VP reward system was adjusted to give us V coupons as rewards, so I'll assume that they'll follow through with Global on that, just no more Fighters turning in favor of casual queue. Let's talk about events. We had a couple of events during the break month, but looking back at it, they were just glorified login bonuses and missions. One of the login bonuses and missions gave you chrono medals, which can be used to exchange for G packs 5 times. Yes, 5 whole G packs, while the rest were just used for triple R food for the triple Rs from G set 1 and therefore GR material food. Might be the time to remember that during the memorial fight this month, they're letting us exchange memorial medals for 5 packs of G. Coincidence? I think not. Also, who's to say that Global won't just give us these missions and login bonuses on the day that G releases, especially because one of the bigger logins was tied to Chrono's birthday. On that note, I also want to take the time to remind everyone that ever since Set 12, Game Studio on the Global side of the game did announce that the global version of the game is a completely different game than the Japanese version of the game, which means they have told us that some events will probably not be the same or omitted, or they will be rearranged to fit other plans that Game Studios has planned for global. Last thing I want to talk about is maintenance. If G format was to release January 1st, 2022, we would have a slightly major problem on our hands. As we all know, set 21 for global, everything that could go wrong did. Maintenance took 23 hours, players lost their accounts, and there was no response from Game Studio other than Intern-kun posting automated tweets that piss players off. But don't worry, Intern-kun, you keep making that paycheck, you beautiful boy. So, where am I getting with this? Remember when I said set 11 for global had maintenance 9 whole days in advance? Well, it's because who the hell is going to show up on New Year's Eve or day to do the maintenance? Do you really think a company would just give the biggest update and cash cow to their game 9 days early and just let it run on hopes and dreams and pray that it works when the day of the new format drops? No, they wouldn't. Which is pushing me further to believe that December is G time, baby. With this, they can implement the biggest update and cash cow to the game, and if something goes wrong, they have the power to fix it immediately rather than having to wait a day, making the whole player base suffer, or, and I don't know, losing 50% of their player base again when accidentally banning everyone? So my final thoughts. Is G coming in December? Yes, I highly believe so. Will they give us all the events? I do not know. Again, global is a different version of the game than JP, and they can choose to omit some events. Okay, so what about compensation? They technically don't have to give us any compensation. As I explained in the video multiple times, global is a different version of the game than the Japanese version. They don't have to give us anything, and the gap month was a huge dead month for the game anyways, where nothing really exciting or noteworthy happened, as many Japanese players were bored of playing the game in a punchy dragon eats fish and chips meta. Jokes aside, regardless of what happens, what I hope will happen if we do get G in December is that we do get some type of bonus for global for the beginning of G, as the global side of the game has been known to treat their player base extremely well. Mainly because we're babies and complain about everything, but better than what JP gets by a mile. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it. Big shout out to Kisama over on the Discord for giving me the inspiration, and Copium for this video, as well as DJ Zero for answering some questions about the break month in JP. This has been Eddie, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.